Alright, I'm going to do a quick update on this radio, the Philco. If you have noticed, these are old caps, right? What ended up happening, here's the one that I already put all the new capacitors in. I just have to trace down what's going on with it, but I was able to use the dim bulb up there on my desk to power this up with restricted voltage. It was okay. It did power up and sort of slightly played. However, this unit never worked when I got it, and it was in pretty nasty condition. There was obvious signs of water damage. It kind of sucks because all of this is cleaned up a lot, so it looks pretty good right now. There's still a few things needed to do. However, what ended up happening is I didn't step up all the way to line voltage. I stepped up to a 100 watt bulb, and it played for a little bit, but I did have it on its side, and this ground bus bar down here, so I even labeled some of these just for my purpose. I was seeing arcing on either side of here. Smoke actually came off of this. I guess it's a rubber wire. I'm not seeing anything obvious that's shorting out inside of here, but we've got a serious problem where there's voltage going to ground, and the chassis ground at least. And it's going to take a while to figure out what's going on. So I guess if you guys work on these radios and you can help me out a little bit for what to look for, obvious things like split wires and stuff like that. There's still some corrosion on the cloth ones down there in the bottom. I'm almost going to say that I have a resistor or something like that that's shorted, causing this. But the primary damage areas were this guy. I've got all sorts of things here. There's a lead coming off of this. Actually, where's that go? There's a lead from the transformer going here, the main power transformer. I've got this, which is 76 capacitor going from there, because that's where it originally was when I opened this up. And it goes to the tube socket down here. And then there's also two little resistors going to, one goes to a little bus bar, the other one goes to this tube socket. But this guy actually lit up bright orange. I had to unplug it immediately. And this over here, not where it's soldered, but for some reason down at the bottom of the bus bar where it's riveted to the chassis, smoke came out of that. So, yeah. A little sketchy. I wasn't even going to risk doing anything else with this right now. There's so much stuff that was previously hacked out of here. I had the I just capped off a lot of the stuff that was just mauled to heck. And right here they chopped off the phono lead to the old turntable, and they rigged up some garbage, and I did put a fuse in just in case, so within that 3 seconds it actually popped it. So, update on this. That's going to chill there, because I was able to find online another one. And this one fully functions. It's got a little bit of distortion. A few of the tubes were trashed, but I do have some new old stock tubes that I was able to test good. And a lot of the tubes out of the other radio worked fine. So I went through tested the ones that came with this. One of them was actually burnt on the top. Replaced all the tubes with ones that I know are good, and pulled out any of the ones that were in here that just would not test out whatsoever. Some of them tested okay, but just barely. But after I got the tubes in there, it's up and running, and everything seems to be okay. I don't have shortwave. It does pick up AM. The phono adapter, which thankfully none of this was hacked off. Those are those two things that were shrink tubed with the red shrink tube. That went out to the phono input. These are all things I never had. And there's the original plug for the turntable that was on there. So this is a lot better. There's only a couple things, like this is just off. That was on this remote power. This was also for the turntable. There is an on-off switch on it, and that actually just came off the side over here where it screws into it. But that's trivial. One thing I don't like is they wire nutted what's left of the little, what is that, like a 20 gauge power line in there, and it's all sealed kind of rubber line. It's all cracked and destroyed, but nothing's completely through yet. I will be fixing all this. You can see I already stuck 2 capacitors in because I had a couple left over from my other order. I'm going to go through and do the rest of these, but it's kind of interesting to see both the same models, same revision, how things are slightly different. You can see where these capacitors connect, where in the other one I just connected exactly where it was and it seemed to follow the schematics, so that's why I did it. But these ones aren't completely identical, even though it's the same revision. But I will go through this one to completely finish it up. It does work. I got it so cheap I really couldn't pass it up. So this is the new mess I get to clean up, and it's dirty as can be. So that's where I'm at with this, and I guess if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, or if you can help me out, because I haven't really built one of these yet, except for what you've been seeing. Let me know. Thanks. Keep watching.